Well, hello, my friends, and this has been a long awaited update for quite some time because there has been a lot that has been going on. And I do mean a lot that has been going on. First off, let me apologize for the lack of whatever the hell was going on in our home. We pretty much have everything settled as far as getting everything straightened out so we can put everything to rest and pretty much move on with our lives. I'm just getting that. I'm just getting this right out the way because, in a way, I know a lot has been going on, and for the most part, we had to zoom this a bit. Okay, that's fine. So, like I said, there was a lot that has been going on as far as getting everything straightened out as far as the house is concerned. And for what it's worth, as we stated before, we're not moving. As much as they want us to move, we're not moving. We've been getting tons and tons of phone calls as well as crap mail that's been, stating obvious deals per se, and we've been basically saying, you know what, we're not moving. I mean, why should we? There's no real reason of doing so. So, for what it's worth, we're getting everything straightened out. So, for the first time in a long time, as you have seen last week, I did a pre-Thanksgiving Day stream, and hopefully you guys had a great and wonderful and sane Thanksgiving with your family. Ours was a bit of an adventure. You see, it seemed simple enough until we went out around 4 in the evening and we were invited out to Studio City where we were supposed to have dinner, but apparently the hostess of at the time or of the time was not there, so we left and we went to see family a little closer to home, and we stayed there for about an hour. And they were my nieces, so I saw my nieces, and the only thing I could say is they're all cute, and each of them has a little something. One the youngest is shy. The the second youngest is just sassy, and the third one didn't say so much. But I got hugs from them, and one of them says, "I love you, Adrian." She doesn't even know I'm her uncle, but sorry for now. That's the one thing I just heard, and that just kind of put a little smile on my face. It was the cute thing. You see, it's just the way she's saying it. It was cute because I know she was saying I love you. I'm like, okay, yeah, I love you too, Pooter. Come on, give me a hug. Yeah, so I call anyone who's related to me, younger than me, Pooter. They are not Pookies, they're Pooters. Okay. That sounds almost like a jingle to a commercial. They're not Pookies, they're Pooters. Anyway, it was an enjoyable evening for the most part. I'm not gonna go into what happened after we got back home because really it makes no sense, and I'm not going to explain in detail what happened after we got back. So aside from that, everything has pretty much been, real quiet. And, Black Friday, as much as I'm a firm believer of not going out for any reason on Black Friday, the only thing I did do while on Black Friday was just go out to 7-Eleven, get myself a cup of soda, and, just get myself a gulp. And that was it. Most of the time I was sitting here replaying Shadow Warrior in New Game Plus, or as they call it, X mode. And actually, I'm halfway there. So what I'm posting right now actually mirrors what I'm doing on EX mode. Because currently I am nearing the end of EX mode. And what I'm posting on channel is basically casual. And trust me, ain't nothing casual about that. You will soon see in later levels, there is nothing casual when it says casual. When you put it on casual mode, that's a bold-faced lie. Okay? It's just, it is what it is. It's a bold-faced lie. It is not casual. Okay, so, yeah, that's something to be said. I mean, I still have quite a bit of backlog for my PS4 titles, which are only 3. That's Shadow Warrior, Samurai Warriors 4, and of course, Ages of Mayhem. I'm still working on my 2019 list, as well as other things. And most of you, if you have not seen it, yeah, I made a blooper reel of what I've been working on, aside from my Let's Plays. Basically, 32 minutes, approximately, of me flubbing up what I have been working on the side as I step into the world of voice acting. And most of it is me versus the clock. On some of those clips, it's me versus the clock, or it's me just reading a line, and then after that, my tongue just goes, ugh. My tongue just like, okay, I'm tired. I'm tired though. I'm tired. Can you tell I'm tired? That's basically what my tongue is doing. My tongue is tired. Because when you're doing Let's Plays, it really does wear you out because you're doing commentary. See, most people don't know that. But when you're doing commentary, you're talking for about, say, almost 3 to 4 hours. For me, it's 3 to 4 hours because I'm doing multiple parts. So it might take me like 3 hours. It might take me 4 hours on another night. I don't do recordings every night, but I do them every other night. So I do make it like, say, a session to do at least, say, get through one chapter and call it a night. Or if not, get through a chapter and do a halfway point. Especially with Yakuza, because let me tell you, Yakuza is just chock full of story. It's almost equivalent to a Tales game. Especially when I post Yakuza 0 in 2019. Because I do have Star Ocean in backlog. Well, actually, the funny thing is I have all 3 Star Ocean games in backlog. So the thing is, the first one I'm going to get back to recording because I've been so busy that basically I haven't had time to really record much of anything else. So I have Star Ocean 1 still in backlog. I have like 7 parts of that. Yeah, about 7 borderline 8 parts of that. I have pretty much most of my stuff just on on, say, limbo. Because most of the time which I was recording, it was, pretty simple. And I was just saying, well, I'm in the middle of stuff. So I was in the middle of doing a lot of projects. And since the last project I did was technically done, and by the way, the last project I just finished was Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Now, I might do the second game, but that's way down the road. And from what I've been told, is a lot more crazier the than the first game. So again, I will put a disclaimer when I start doing it, just for the sake that, okay, for those who do follow me or want to see how it's gonna go, okay, it is gonna go down just like the first game, but hopefully it won't be as bad as the first game. Excuse me if I'm yawning. Like I said, I've been so tired, and it's not from it's not from it's a mixture of traveling and Thanksgiving and everything else that has been going on as far as the house is concerned. So, it is a relief to actually sit down and not really try to get up and go anywhere just because, oh, hey, we got to go. It's like it's so tiring sometimes. But, family is okay. It's quiet now. And it's one of those rarities that when it gets quiet, I'm able to breathe. I'm able to think. I'm able to plan and do this and do that and whatnot. Because I'm sorry, but sometimes it does get rather annoying as all get out when I record and then something stupid happens and I hear sounds and whatnot. And not coming from me, but outside. One of the things I plan to do for the next year, and I can pretty much say it's gonna happen, is, well, since I'm putting in the time to do voice acting and whatnot. And another thing I plan to do is give myself a seasonal job. I haven't done that yet because of getting the house in order and making sure we get all the paperwork done and whatnot. So pretty much that's it. As long as we have some money to say here you go, poof, there you go. Pretty much a little goes a long way, as they say. So it pretty much says a lot has been going on. So another thing, like I said, a lot that I'm planning to do is pretty much eventually. It's not set in stone, but eventually I want to turn my home, not my home, my room into somewhat of an office studio. It'll still have the classic Izzy standard, but it'd be a little bit more productive looking, if it makes sense. Because truth be told, I wouldn't mind if my room changed a bit the way I want it to be, and to make it look a little bit more professional. No, not professional, but a little more Pro. Casual looking, but professional otherwise. So I like to make it look a little bit Pro. 50-50 casual and professional. So that's something in the woodworks right there. And lots and lots of other things, considering organization wise, I would really want to do a lot of things that just need noticing. like I said, I want my room to actually look less of a bedroom and more like an actual room. Because originally it was a den, and it got changed into a bedroom. So I would like to change it into something a little more updated. I mean, everything else regarding my room, like my posters, they're still gonna stay up, but you know, it make it a little more casual looking and a little more professional once I get everything cleaned out and whatnot. So that's pretty much all that is about the house and everything else. As far now, as far as 2019 goes, recently I did look at the trailer for the next Super Robot Tyson game, and it's going to be quite a change since this Super Robot Tyson game is going to be the first we've ever seen in a long time, actually fully translated with no dub changing whatsoever. So, in this installment of Super Robot Tyson, it's actually going to be called what it really is: Super Robot Wars. So, in this installment of the series, which is called T, we're going to have the following, which I believe the rules state for the franchise. If you have some kind of vehicle, like say, be it a warship, a spaceship, or a mech of any kind, it pretty much counts as being part of the Super Robot Wars verse, the Super Robot Wars universe. It would count. So therefore, added to the roster, the big names. Now I can say this: it's gonna be interesting because we got Cowboy Bebop, Maho Kinshi, Maho Kishi, not Kenshi, Maho Kishi Reyev, Captain Harlock, otherwise known as, well, the actual title is Story of My Youth, Arcadia S2X. It's basically Captain Harlock. So we're actually getting Captain Harlock. For the first time in a long time, we're actually getting Mazinger Z, which is going to be called Mazinger Z and not Tranzor Z, as it was back in the days, probably in the 80s. But we're actually going to get Mazinger Z. Kido Butoden G Gundam. We're actually getting that. We're also getting Aura Battler Dunbine. That's going to be added in, and I hadn't seen Dunbine since, I believe Super Robot Tyson A had Dunbine, and pretty much the later ones, probably the PS2 or the Vita ones, they featured Dunbine as well as Super Robot Pinball. That also featured Dunbine, but we are actually getting a couple of oldies but goodies making a comeback, which is awesome. Because, like I said, we haven't seen these titles in a long time. But Cowboy Bebop, Gundam, we've seen them for quite a while. So Cowboy Bebop, it counts because it has the swordfish. The swordfish counts as a mech. Therefore, it counts as what is considered a real robot. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the double root with the super robot and the real robot root. Because consider this anything that is like a jet fighter or anything like that, anything that is considered realistic looking is considered real robot. Anything considering like, because see they consider Gundam a real robot as compared to Mazinger Z as a super robot. There's a difference. So therefore, like say, Gold Lion is considered a super robot. So anything considering that, Captain Harlock would be considered a real robot because he has a no class warship. But aside from that's going to be interesting because, like I said, it's the first we've ever seen the main franchise actually being brought over. But I think because of such titles as Gundam Versus, My Hero Academia, I believe there's another one called Little Witch Academia. I mean, there's so many anime titles that are coming over through Bandai Namco, and possibly I think Band Presto still has a bit of a little tiny bit of influence here in the U.S. So that is quite interesting because we haven't seen Band Presto actually do something, and this is going to be big because this will actually bring out more people to or towards the franchise because for most of us who grew up during the 80s, we grew up with Transformers, Macross, when it was dubbed over here as Robotech, and Voltron. Because to us, that and Transformers, they were like big. Because basically everything we've ever watched was pretty much, something mecha related or science related. We were into technology. Technology was big back in the 80s. So therefore, growing up watching all this stuff, it really does play a big impact. So therefore, it's really going to bring in a lot of people who grew up from the 80s, maybe from the 70s, but those who are still around, or maybe those who have been brought in to this new wave, because they got new. They do have new anime coming out for the new blood, and then there's still us who have been the baby boomers. We're still around, so it's like, oh hey, we got something for everyone. So therefore, it's just going to be very interesting. Another thing is, they also got another Super Robot Tyson game that they're actually still working on, aside from T, and that's Double D. So there's Super Robot Tyson Double D. Now I have no idea what's going to be in that lineup, but I assume it's going to be something a bit different. Or probably the same batch, but I'm pretty sure they're going to bring back a couple of old faces for this one as well. But as for the one that is coming out next year, it is coming out for the Switch, the PS4. I think that's it. The Switch and the PS4. I'm not sure if it's going to come out for the Xbox One. I mean, I'm going to have to look and make sure of that. And I'm not sure if it's going to come out for PC. But if it does come out on PC, I know a few people who would want to try it. I know somebody would want to try the PC version if it is that, but I don't think it's going to be on Steam. But I'm pretty certain it's going to be on the big two, which is PS4 and the Switch. Now, as for what's already coming out in 2019 for PS4, I think those are the only two games I'm really going to be aiming towards, which is basically the Tales of Vesperia Collector's Edition, which is a lot better than the 360 version because the 360 version was so buggy, it was so terrible that basically saves were corrupted. And it's like if one save was corrupted, you were just SOL. I remember because I was actually at the end of the game, and for some reason, I wanted to say, you know what? I wanted to throw it in. I wanted to throw it into the paper shredder, but I said, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. So when they made the the corrected version, I should call it, the collector's edition, I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy that because it would give me a chance to actually do it as a let's play, as well as me beating it just for old time's sake because it was enjoyable. You know, it was an enjoyable Tales game. And you know, to say that it was an enjoyable Tales game, I'm not saying that not all Tales games are enjoyable, but does it have a charm? Because I had to take a break from Symphonia because it has so much plot exposition that basically it's almost some Tales games are almost so full of plot that it rivals that of Yuga Gotoku. And that's saying a lot because Yuga Gotoku is basically just it's like this. I'm playing through Zero right now. So therefore Yuga Gotoku Zero basically tells the story of Kiryu and Majima before they were the badasses that you see them now. So technically, Majima's story would be told in 4, Yakuza 4. Whereas Kiryu's story, it's just telling how he got into where he is and how he basically says, you know what, I'm not doing this, but I'm not joining this just because of this, but I have a higher reason for doing this. That's pretty much a story that is within the Yakuza series. Basically, it's a story about one man trying to do the best he can do under such terrible circumstances, and all he's trying to do is make good on what he is. It's almost like he's trying to be a savior, but in some way he can't. I mean, you know, he's been shot before, so I was like, oh hey. So shit. And it's so funny because one of his trainers actually keeps mentioning that. He said, well, don't get yourself shot. Don't get yourself stabbed. Don't get yourself don't get yourself hurt out there. So I was like, really? Why do you keep saying that? He basically said that. Why do you keep saying that? You know, why do that? But what I do have on backlog, as far as PS4 games are concerned, are basically Yuga Gotoku Zero and Hokuto ga Gotoku, which is Fist of North Star Lost Paradise. But when I actually upload it, I'm gonna title it what it's really called, Hokuto Gotoku. Because Fist of North Star Lost Paradise, that's a bit long, so I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna call it what it is, which is Hokuto Gotoku. And I've been enjoying that as well, even though, man, I could tell you, just it's crazy. But because of one series, and I stated this before, oh, there's another series I'm also working on, and that's Tolkien Kiwami. It is the first Kiwami game I'm actually doing since. For those who don't know what Kiwami is, Kiwami it means extreme. So it's basically the first extreme game I'm actually doing, because they got a Yakuza Kiwami 2. So it really is saying it's extreme. It's more than what the original was. So when I get around to doing Yakuza Kiwami, you will see the difference. But the story is pretty much the same, except that it'll be it'll be what it is. It just it's just a crime story, which I personally love. And it's open world, but it's not like, oh, you have to do this, and this. But you can do side missions just for the sake of getting more experience, money, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've been quite busy on that. And like I said, with Tokiden Kiwami is basically what Monster Hunter was or is. But the only thing is, they don't make it all the way totally out there with open world. They don't go crazy with the open world. But it's pretty much, here's the story. You work as a team. That's basically the difference between Tokiden and Monster Hunter. You work as a team because it plays like God Eater. It plays more like God Eater than Monster Hunter, even though it feels more like Monster Hunter. But they have this thing more like it's a team effort, and the team effort is basically you work as a group of four. You pick your three. You go out into the field. You go ahead, kill the target, advance the story. And they have 3 levels from what I've read, and I'm still at the first of the 6 levels. So I'm at tier 1. That's where I am right now. I'm at tier 1, and then tier 2 is the expert, and tier 3 is the ultimate. So it's like right now I'm at normal. So I'm not sure how it's going to turn out when I get to say tier 2 or tier 2 basically. I'm working it slow. So like I said, I got a lot I am currently doing as far as projects are concerned. But what I'm going to be focusing on, since I have time to say breathe and relax, is I can finish up Sam & Max, and then after that I'm going to pretty much finish out the year with Clannad and possibly Shuffle. As like I said, Sam & Max, I can finish out season 1 and do season 2 next year, and then after that, there you go. I will pretty much be finished with Sam & Max right after I'm done with season 2. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be done with the Telltale's games. No. Because I still have The Walking Dead. So I'm actually going to wait till they release 2. Well, not 2. I am actually going to wait until they release 3 and 4. Because since Telltale Games is now a defunct studio, that doesn't mean the series itself is dead. Another studio is doing the other 2 volumes, which are the final 2 volumes of The Walking Dead, the mainstream Walking Dead series. So I am actually going to wait until those two are released, and then I will do that. Because down the line, I do have a couple of Telltale games I really want to do. Because I have that. I've already done the Strong Bad series. I'm pretty much in the middle of Sam & Max. The next one I finish will be Walking Dead. And then probably after that, it's a toss up between Back to the Future or Game of Thrones. But like I said, I plan to do all the Telltale games because for me, I'd rather honor the memory of what they did instead of just like, oh, they were a shit company and ABCDFG. No, they weren't a shit company. For anybody who says that, I said no. Actually, because of them, I got into point and click. So it's because of Telltale's I actually got into doing point and click games. So therefore, it's a bonus. So I can do point and click games. Sometimes I want to do point and click. Sometimes I want to do it with mouse. Sometimes I want to do it with controller. But I think controller seems to be more my style because hey, I can use both analogs. One to move the cursor this way, the other to move the character. So it works both ways. Oh man, I got a lot of stuff down on my bed that I'm looking at, but pretty much what I'm seeing right now in front of me will be um Fist of North Star Lost Paradise, Tokiden, and behind me, Yakuza 0. So those are the only three I'm actually working on right now on PS4. Now on here, I am working on E7, Star Ocean 1. I think Arc the Lad 2, which I'm gonna call it Arc 2. Um and when I actually get around to it, Arc Tonelico. I haven't been, and like I said, I haven't been really busy as far as getting my projects out of the way and finished because of what's been happening. that and I've been going to my appointments. Excuse me. Yeah, my appointments have been keeping me busy as well because, like I said, a lot has been going on, and pretty much I want to get myself properly assessed. The last appointment I had, um, believe it or not, they want to put me on drugs, and I said no, I don't want to be put on drugs. After I said, well, look, after all this that has been going on with me and what happened to me, no, I don't want no drugs. Especially when I asked about what are side effects, I'm like, no, don't want it. No, I don't want it. You see, if it's going to do harm to me, if it's going to do more harm to me than actual good, I don't want it. I'm not at that level, and I don't want to be at that level to which it's going to really do some collateral damage to me. I think I can say that because I've been damaged enough. I just want restoration. That's all. The doctor looked at me funny because he couldn't believe all this stuff happened to me. And he's trying to make heads or tails about why. Why did this happen to you? And how come you survived? I'm like, yeah, I asked myself that. I ask myself that sometimes myself. How the hell did I survive that mess that I went through? I can tell you, it was not easy. Truly, it just really wasn't that easy. I rather not go into the details of why I am the way I am now, because I just want some semblance of sanity. Because as I stated before, you're wondering why? Because I'm crazy. I'm not really crazy, but through everything I've been, it is pretty much the only part of me that I can say I am sane. It is pretty much saying that I am indeed very much sane. Just I tend to throw my quote unquote video life into say out to the four winds and just tend to challenge that which normally can't which normally would be scoffed upon by the populace, the quote unquote reviewers, and those who are supposed gamer aficionados, and those who think they're better than the game, and those who play it. Y'all a bunch of, dare I say it, y'all a bunch of nouveau riche posers. Get off your high horse, you dipper sacks. I scoff at thee, and I throw ice cream in your face. Anyway, anyway, like I said, it has been quite a long, and dare I say it again, a very long 2018. And I finally managed to get this out because after everything that has been going on as far as home life is concerned, as far as what we had to do after mom passed, and the quote unquote implosion of our family, I'm still hanging in there. We still have our home, and we're fighting to keep it, and we aim to keep it. And hopefully, if nothing else happens to where, okay, all we have to do is agree to what these terms we are going to get for is concerned, and it works out for us, then hey, more power to us and more balance for us. Because that's all we need right now. We just need balance and order, and we need to restructure everything. So pretty much that's where we are right now. So yeah, I don't apologize for how long this video is because, like I said, it had to be said. Good Lord. There was a lot that was going on, and for what it's worth, the only thing I want to do is move forward and be successful and still do YouTube videos because I'm still a Let's Player. Regardless of how messed up the algorithm is, I'm still a Let's Player. I don't go by views. I really don't. I go by how many people just enjoy what I do. Whether I hear it or not, I really do enjoy being a Let's Player. Because I'm different from other Let's Players because I don't do popular games. I don't do the in thing. I'm sorry. That's pretty much a click thing. I don't do clicks. But I do not mind wanting to play certain games that I know I can actually play and run. As long as they can run, as long as I can play them, it's all good. As far as anything else is concerned, nah, I'm good, dog. I'm good. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to end this video right here because I have been going for 45 minutes. It's the most I have been doing for a long time, just airing out everything that has been happening for the last 11 months. And for that, next time we see each other, I will be pretty much finishing up Sam Max and those visual novels I got. And then somewhere in 2019, when I pretty much have most of what I have done, I will have them ready for you. So until then, take care, God bless, and may the hand of God be with you all. So until whatever the hell I decide to do for next, I have been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi. And yes, I am going to go see that Spider-Man movie next month. Into the Spider-Verse. So, yeah, I'll see you next time with more great content. And please do stick around for that. And feel free to share on your social feeds about what's going on. I do have a social network. You can follow me if you have Twitter. Follow me on Twitter on at PookieIzzy7. Also on my Facebook, same handle, as well as my YouTube page, which you can subscribe if you feel you need to, but please don't feel you have to, okay? I wouldn't want you to feel like you have to subscribe. No. Subscribe. Enjoy. That sort of thing, you know. Hang back, relax, because I'm not one of those kind of people that just tend to, boo, you have to this. No. I am not like that, no. It honestly just feels good just to get all that out. So, like I said, lots of things have been happening. But I have lots and lots of projects I need to come back to and lots I need to start on. So with that, I'll see you next time with more great content. Again. So, again. Have a great weekend. And have a safe and wonderful 2019. And let it be sane for all of us. And with that, see you next game. Tenkai Muso. And good night, Mom. And everybody else.